So this chapter shows God's power to turn famine into abundance overnight, fulfilling his word through Elisha and exposing the unbelief of those who doubted, right? The first part of this chapter covers Elisha's prophecy. Elisha declares, "This time tomorrow, a seah of flour will sell for a shekel and 2 seahs of barley up for a shekel at the gate of Samaria." So, seah, I think it's seah. It's Saah. It means like it's a measurement. I don't know exactly how much it is. It's written in the Bible. If you want to check it out, it's there in the Bible. At least in my one, it's identifying like the quantity, the amount of floor in average, right? So continuing, an officer of the king mocks. Even if the Lord opened the floodgates of heaven, could this happen? Elisha replies, you see it with your own eyes, but you will not eat any of it. Doubting God's word leads to judgment, even when his promise comes true. The second part of this chapter covers the four lepers. Four lepers at the city gate face starvation. They reason, if they stay, they'll die. If they go to the Aramean camp, they might be spared or they'll die anyway. They go to the camp at the twilight and find it abandoned. So God had caused the Arameans to hear the sound of chariots, horses, and a great army, so they fled in panic, leaving everything behind. The lepers eat, drink, and take silver, gold, and clothes. They realize, what we're doing is not right. This is a day of good news, and we're keeping it to ourselves. They go to tell the city. God uses the least expected lepers, the outcasts, to bring news of salvation. The third part of the chapter covers the city informed. The king at first suspected trap the Arameans are hiding to ambush them. Scouts check and find the road littered with abundant supplies. The people rush out and plunder the Aramean camp. God's promise is fulfilled exactly. Famine turns to abundance in one night. Okay, so the fourth part of this chapter covers the doubting officer's fate. As Elisha said, flour and barley sell cheaply at the city gate. The officer who doubted is put in charge of the gate. In the rush of people, he is trampled to death. He saw the fulfillment but did not eat of it, exactly as Elisha prophesies. God's words always comes true, okay? Whether for blessing or judgment, right? What are the key lessons from this chapter? 2 Kings chapter 7. The first lesson is God can change everything in a moment. A starving city became rich overnight. Nothing is impossible for him. Second lesson, salvation comes through the least expected. Four leaps carried the good news, a picture of the gospel spread through unlikely messengers. Third lesson, unbelief blocks blessing. The officer's doubt cost him his life. He saw God's power but didn't share in it. Final lesson, good news must be shared. The lepers remind us that blessings are not for hoarding but for declaring to others. So Elisha prophesies that Samaria's famine will turn to abundance overnight. Four lepers discover the abandoned Aramean camp and announce the good news. The city plunders it, fulfilling Elisha's word, okay? But the officer who mocked God's promises trampled at the gate, proving God's word never fails.